This girl was never supposed to be in this situation.
Police in Florida believe a 16-year-old girl met a horrific end at the hands of convicted felon Stephen Gress and his girlfriend, reportedly suffering a week of torture and abuse before she was reportedly killed and dismembered. And the alleged killer's reasoning?
I just wanted my ring back. That's it. Okay?
Yeah, we got our hands on Gress's interview with police, where he allegedly revealed sickening details about the teen mother's last days.
I'm telling her this will be a learning experience for everybody.
I want to take you through this disturbing conversation and look at how this apparent confession could impact the ongoing legal cases. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. February 2025. Police in Florida receive a report of a missing teen mom. We're talking about 16-year-old Miranda Corsett. Now, police soon learn that Miranda's parents were both deceased, that she had been living with her grandmother in Gulfport, and that she had an 11-month-old baby. Apparently wasn't out of the ordinary for Miranda to be away for days at a time, but when her grandmother hadn't seen or heard from her in more than a week, that's when she called the police. And as officers in Gulfport and the surrounding areas began an investigation, this is when a witness reportedly came forward with a tip about what might have happened to Miranda. And it was that tip that led investigators to St. Petersburg and to these two suspects, Stephen Gress and Michelle Brandis. So according to a news release, Miranda apparently met Gress through a dating app and apparently spent Valentine's Day with him. She goes home that night, but then the following day reportedly returns. So we're talking February 15th, returns to his duplex. And that is when she was never seen again. Police claim she died sometime between February 20th and February 24th after days of abuse. That's the allegation. And when it came to their prime suspect, Stephen Gress, police knew exactly where he was. The jail. He had been arrested for allegedly pointing a harpoon at his girlfriend. So then you go to March 7th, 2025, and detectives brought him from the jail to an interview room to try to figure out what had happened to Miranda. And from the very beginning, Gress kind of seemed eager to tell them everything. Now, I'm going to warn you, okay, before we play this interrogation, I got to warn you. Even though, by the way, he and Brandis are innocent unless proven guilty, and despite the horrific details that he's allegedly relating to the investigators, I got to say, Gress kind of seems incredibly casual about it all. It is very disturbing to witness this.
Hold on. Before you talk, before you say anything, you went to first appearance, and did they appoint an attorney to you? I'm told attorney. Okay. I don't care about it. All right, listen, but I do because it's the law. Okay, so you're initiating this request to talk to me, even though you have an attorney. Okay. Well, I'm gonna read you your rights. Okay, because I've never read you your rights when I come in before, because I didn't have any charges on you before when I talk to you. Okay, so I'm gonna read your rights to you. We're gonna do this form before anything else happens. Okay. All right. I got questions I got to go through here. They may seem mundane to you, but they're very important to the attorneys. Okay. Are you under the influence of any prescription drugs? No, sir. Any alcohol? No, sir. Any illegal drugs? No, sir. What's the last grade you completed in school?
Got a GED, but it's
Okay. And can you read?
Yes, sir.
Can you write?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear okay?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Anything you say can't always be against you in a court of law. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer or have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand each of these rights that I just explained to you?
Yes, sir.
And having these rights in mind, you wish to talk to us now?
Yes, sir.
Hey, real quick, I know it's a 180, but this is something that affects everybody. Laundry. Yeah. Your laundry shouldn't smell like something you use to disinfect your bathroom, right? And laundry sauce is the answer. Laundry Sauce's premium scented laundry pods don't just clean your clothes, they elevate them. They come in these incredible scents like Australian sandalwood, Italian bergamot, or the new limited edition Brazilian vanilla. They've also got fabric conditioner and scent booster and dryer sheets and fabric fresher spray. You'll have everything you need to transform your laundry experience from basic to what is essentially extraordinary. Laundry service isn't just about smelling incredible. It is engineered also for performance because these highly concentrated pods are packed with the cleaning power of bioenzymes that obliterate stains from muddy hikes and backyard barbecues, or of course, the inevitable coffee spill. Everybody's got that, right? This Australian sandalwood, I just got to call it again. It's amazing. The pods make laundry so easy. The scent lasts longer than old detergent. And for a limited time only, our listeners, our viewers are going to get 20% off your entire order when you use code SIDEBAR at laundrysauce.com. That's 20% off your entire order at laundrysauce.com with promo code SIDEBAR. And after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. It's time to make laundry day the best day of the week. So the detectives make sure that he knows his Miranda rights, but then Gress launches right into it. And he's kind of insistent that his involvement in this whole situation is minimal.
This was never supposed to happen. Never was supposed to happen.
What wasn't supposed to happen?
This girl was never supposed to be in this situation. This girl was never supposed to be. So I met her up in Grindr, which is like a gay hookup site. And what a 16-year-old girl is doing on an adult hookup site, I guess it's irrelevant. She told me she was 20 at first, and then later came out afterwards that she was 16, which really had nothing. It didn't mean anything to me. Her age meant nothing. There's one thing that she didn't need, and that was just one thing I was trying to resolve. She stole a gold ring. What about overdoses? That must be Michelle's way of trying to cover her part up in something, because there was no overdose in any of nothing like that was involved. So I picked the girl up. The date, I'm not certain. All this is very recent within the last month. And so I picked the girl up for a hookup on Grindr. Her name was Randa on there.
What about that might have been?
Everything's on the cell phone. If you pull up cell phone information, like everything you want is on the cell phone.
On your cell phone?
My cell phone. Yes, sir.
Well, hold on a second. So her name was Randa?
Her name was Miranda. But her profile name was Randa.
R-A-N-D-A.
Right.
Okay. And it's on Grindr.
Right.
Okay. And this, we'll be able to see this on your phone?
Yes, sir.
What's the passcode for your phone?
It's just a Z. It was Z.
Okay. Supposed to go.
Yeah, but that phone is no longer here. I spazzed out after what happened. You know what I'm saying? I'll take you through the whole thing of what happened. You just see it.
Let's go. So you met Randa.
Right on Grindr.
Okay. You don't know what day that was, though?
It was, I want to say it was a Sunday. It was so it was a Sunday that this happened. And I seen her the day, 2 days prior to that, I seen her for the first time. I picked her up, went home, hung out, I dropped her back off. It was fine. No issues. 2 days passed by. She hits me up, says, don't want to hang out. Okay, cool. I picked her up. This is where the issue starts.
Where'd you pick her up?
I picked her up in front of her grandma's house, but I didn't know exactly which house was her grandmother's house. I just knew that, if you put a GPS, you put an address on GPS, it like before you get to the actual spot, like you arrive to your destination, but you're like another house or two away from it.
So where is it?
You go for it.
You know what the address was?
And it's, I don't remember what the address was. I knew it was off of 58th Street in Gulfport. There's a school there.
Yeah.
There's a school in the area.
Big high school?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of school it is. It's a school.
Let's focus. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I picked her up from here. I'm sure you can see my car coming to a stop somewhere near her house. And whenever she came in my car, it was always at an angle, so I didn't stop right in front of the grandmother's house. But I stopped in front of in the area for a pickup. So I picked her up. We went back home. Chilling. I bought her some food. She's a real picky eater, I guess. So I bought her a smoothie from Wawa. And my ring, which is in property right now, was given back to me by Michelle. This Michelle. Do you know where Michelle is? You need to take Michelle. You take Michelle up.
The Michelle that Gress is referring to is likely his girlfriend, domestic partner, now co-defendant Michelle Brandis. She would be arrested the day after this interview. That's according to a police news release. Reportedly, she turns herself in. By the way, Gress also mentions another woman in this, Pam. This is his apparent roommate on their side of the duplex. So when you hear that name, you have a better idea about who we're talking about. And Gress seems to claim that everything was going great until he lost his ring. And apparently he became convinced that it was Miranda who had taken it.
So my ring was missing. And
on the same day you picked her up.
The same day I picked her up. It was just us two in the room. Pam was in the other room. Pam's got her own room in there. And
It's two who you and
Miranda. We're the only two in the room.
Which room?
The living room, which I made my bedroom. And of the house.
And the downstairs apartment.
Yes. That
27.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait, 27.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So in the process of me ordering food for my room comes up missing. It was a little bit too big for my pinky, so it could slide off if whatever, just slide off. And I remember when I wanted to get off the bed, I supported my weight on the bed to go get the doors for the food, and that's when my ring slid off. My ring slid off on the bed. So as I'm eating my food, I'm realizing my ring's not on my finger. So I'm like, I search the whole immediate area. My ring's not there. Miranda stole my ring. Miranda stole my ring. So I'm telling him, like, look, there's nobody else here. I know, it's nice. It's a nice ring. You might want it, but it's not yours. So give it back. Everything was bravado. It's like, I'm telling her, and hoping that he wants to just scare her to get me my ring back. So I call up Michelle to see if Michelle will help me get the ring back from her. Like, to have a female connection or something, anything I can use to try to get her to give me my ring back. So all this on text messages as well. So I text Michelle on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, hey man, this girl here stole my ring. Please help me get my ring back. So she agrees and comes over. She comes over there and stuff. And the first thing she does when she gets there was looks for my ring in the house. And I'm cool with that because I just want my ring back. So as soon as I get my ring back, as soon as this shit gets to be done. So she finds my ring, and she doesn't tell me she finds my ring. And how I know that is because she gave me my ring back after all this is said and done. And Pam was there when she found my ring in my car. My ring was never in my car. It never was in my car. She never went outside to put it in my car. Michelle found my ring that she stole.
That's right. Seemingly, according to Gress, after this entire unhinged scenario played out, the alleged beating, the killing, the dismemberment, he realized that Brandis had his ring the whole time, which is unthinkable. It is unthinkable. If that's true, it would essentially mean, if these allegations are true, that Brandis witnessed and took part in all of this, even though she could have stopped it from happening. That's the allegation. And then you go back to the interrogation. Gress explains to the detectives why this ring is so important to him.
Like, pleading with her, telling me, like, this stuff is important to me. I just got out of prison for doing 13 years. I just started having my own stuff for myself. This stuff means something to me, man. I just started having my own. It means something to me. I was not willing to take a loss on my ring. She stole it, and you can get it back to me. I'm telling her, like, please, let's use this as a learning experience. Let's do that. Yes.
So she wearing clothes, you patted her down, you couldn't find the ring.
I even bought an metal detector.
Well, where do you think she was hiding?
She either swallowed it or put it up inside of her, or she had it hidden somewhere else.
Okay.
I knew she had it, and she was disrespecting me and mocking me the whole time. Miranda is to me. Yeah, like, and I couldn't fathom, why would you steal something?
She doing the mock?
She did like this. She said she got it from her grandma. And she said she'll be like, man, please give me my ring, please, man. She'll just do like this to me, like this. She like this. She like this.
You mean like she might have been shaking in fear?
No.
That's what you look like when you do that.
Right. But
when I think of a 16-year-old girl shaking like that, that's fear.
Michelle would be whispering to her, and I'd be like, why are you guys whispering? What are you trying to hide from me? Why would you possibly be whispering amongst yourselves to not want to be heard by me? There's something that they have going on. And Michelle also has the girl's iPhone. The girl's iPhone. I told Michelle, I said, hey man, go hide this underneath a trash can at a gas station somewhere, just so it doesn't, in case somebody came looking for it, it wouldn't lead her to my house. And it would prevent me from getting my ring back. That's my fault, is my greed for my ring. Okay. Another important information is seeing Miranda on Valentine's Day. We'll be able to give you a date. The first time I see Miranda was on Valentine's Day. Michelle was upset that I chose Miranda over her on Valentine's Day. So I think that's where her motive came from. To have her spite for Miranda came from this. And so they're having secret conversations. I don't know what they're saying. She took her ring. She said she threw it in a gutter. She said she threw it in a gutter down the street. I asked her afterwards if she would be able to take it to the gutter. Michelle, I believe that she did not throw it in the gutter, though. I believe that she kept it dry. Because Michelle has a long history of stealing.
Okay.
She's not.
We're kind of running out of choice. So let's talk about Miranda. And you thought that she was mocking you by shaking.
It wasn't just shaking that she would be doing. she would also be saying stuff to me.
Like what?
Like she would be saying, she was saying she never seen it, and then she said, "Oh, I know it's outside for a fact. It's over here outside." And then she'd say that she hadn't seen it again, and then she'd say, "Oh wait, I remember it's in the kitchen over here." And then she'd say it was in the bathroom over there, and then she told me it was behind the mirror over here. She led me through this. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why somebody in this position would disrespect.
How else did you search her?
I searched with a metal detector. I'm telling you the truth, my man. I'm telling you the truth. I was dedicated to get my ring back. I called the St. Pete Police Department. And I said, "Hey man, this girl has my ring, man. She stole my ring, man. Can you guys please come assist me to get my ring back?" They told me that I was in no position. I was not legally allowed to search her, and the police was not going to come over there and search her. And all I could do was file a police report. So she was.
Wait. A police officer came to your house
Police department, and that's what the operator dispatch told.
When did you call the police?
A day or 2 or 3 after she already had it. I called the St. Pete Police Department. So somebody
and the dispatcher told you.
They told me. I told her that my detective is going off in her private area, and I think the girl had my ring of her privates. And could somebody please come out here to help retrieve my ring? Is what I told her. And the lady told me that I had no legal right to search her.
You don't.
I'm just yeah.
I'm surprised that we would tell you something like that. I mean, that's just okay. Let's keep going.
Okay.
And Gress also claims that Miranda, the 16-year-old seemingly trapped in this nightmare scenario, if these allegations are true, was taunting him.
She was scared of Michelle. She was scared of Michelle. She scared of me too.
How can she not be scared of you?
Right.
She's 90 pounds.
But she's still talking.
Was she really?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure you weren't just imagining that? Because what was she saying to you?
She's telling me that she doesn't care. I said, I had rent coming up. I had 1 week left to get my rent. She said she doesn't care. I said, you don't care about me to be going on the streets? Like, you don't care about like my house, everything that I have going for me? You don't care that this is going to be lost because I'm over here focusing on you trying to get my rent back?
Yeah.
And she was telling me no. She doesn't care. And she'd be like this to me. She'd be like this. It's not a shake. It's a taunt. She would taunt like this.
I don't know what that is.
She said she got it brown.
It doesn't taunt me. I don't understand that.
It's because she's not giving me my ring back. It's a taunt. You know what I'm saying?
So you think that a 16-year-old girl who 16 is taunting? I just don't get it. But okay, well, let's keep going. So then
already over there. Michelle was already over there for the whole time. I called Michelle immediately.
Okay.
So Michelle was been over there.
Where was Pam?
In her ring. Pam's aware of what's going on too. If anything, Pam's guilty because Pam could have reported this before it got to this point. Whether this was been going on. Pam's a sweetheart. Pam does not deserve to be in any trouble. She doesn't. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm going to say this again. Gress seems to be remarkably calm as he explains to the investigators that, yes, he allegedly beat and assaulted Miranda multiple times, but he also helped tend to her wounds.
Any injury that I cause her, I'm going to CVS and I'm buying her medication for her.
What kind of medication?
Whatever. She needs some sore throat medication, some.
Why does she have a sore throat?
Did
you stick something down her throat?
No.
Why would she need sore throat medication then for whatever injuries you have?
I just told you some. Like, I'm getting 100. I'm not trying to deflect blame on anybody else. I'm not trying to pin anything on anybody else. I own up to what I did. I'm owning what I did. I'm not trying to defend or deflect on anybody else. Michelle has more of this that I'm not letting anything bad enough happen to the girl. I can't just let her go home after a couple of days healing up. I just want my ring back. I just wanted my ring back. That's it. Okay? Michelle's got some other shit going on. Nothing's happened to the girl to where she can't heal in a couple of days and go home. That's on me. I'm making sure. You know what I'm saying? But the girl, she said she had some kind of a disease where she bruised really easy. And she was really thin. She was delicate. So with that in mind, like, I'm making sure I don't do anything to the girl that's going to make sure that she can get my back. She can't just go home in a couple of days after healing up. That was my goal, was to do whatever until she gave me my back, let her heal up, go home. I'm telling her this will be a learning experience for everybody. You should be going inside people's house. You don't know stealing their shit. That's my whole thing. That was my whole thing. Michelle, it was more her spite for not taking her off the ground. As petty as it sounds, man. That's what I bring from it. So Michelle had my ring the whole time. She said she found it in my car after the fact.
So there are parts of this interrogation that were muted by authorities before they sent it to us. This is likely to protect certain aspects of their investigation. Very common. We see this many times. But while Gress explains what, quote, after the fact means, the audio drops out. But here's what an affidavit filed against Gress says, and I think this might be the connective tissue here. Quote, the defendant and co-defendant held the victim against her will for over 7 days and tortured her by repeatedly beating the victim and eventually stuffing a billiard ball into her mouth and wrapping her face with plastic wrap, causing her to suffocate.
Give her CPR, blowing her nose, blowing her mouth, holding her nose, giving her behind, like all this. Like I'm doing everything I possibly can. This girl was not supposed to die. She was not supposed to die. But she did. She did. I can't possibly move forward without this, without my ring. Like I just could not take a L on my ring like that. I just couldn't.
So according to what Gress allegedly told the detectives, both his mom and Brandis's mom knew about Miranda and that she was dead. He says he, Brandis, and Pam went to stay at Brandis's mother's house for several days after Miranda died. He claimed she was out of town in Puerto Rico at the time, so they had the house to themselves. However, according to a warrant, Pam would apparently later state that Brandis's mother was home, along with a home health aide. Again, let me just be clear about something. We don't know if this is true. This is coming from Gress that these two women knew about this, okay? Just want to make that clear. But that home in Largo is reportedly where Gress, according to authorities, cut up Miranda's body with a saw. 16 years old. The affidavit against him reads, quote, the defendant and co-defendant then dismembered the body of the victim and discarded the victim in a dumpster in Ruskin, Florida. By the way, Miranda's remains have never been found. Now, while one of the detectives leaves the room to check some details about the shed where Gress allegedly said he found the saw, the other investigator steers the interview in this new, unexpected direction.
Is it true you used to take animals to the Skyway?
Yes.
What'd you do?
I would kill them.
Do you feel a need to kill them?
No.
Why did you do that?
I was stressed out.
Is killing them give you stress relief?
Stressed out. And Michelle repeatedly they would be short on the rent. They would threaten where I slept at. They just would constantly bicker and about nothing to all the time. Like I was the enemy to them.
So you would kill an animal.
I would kill an animal, so I would not. It helped me to relieve my stress and my anger, so I would not hurt them.
Where would you get the animals from?
Craigslist. People give away animals on Craigslist.
Any kind of animal?
Pretty much. You could like guinea pig or rabbit, dog, cat.
And when you throw them off the Skyway when you're done with them?
Skyway is another one of Michelle's things. I wouldn't take it to the Skyway. I would take it to the Skyway. I would take it. If you go to my house and do a what's the agent that they use to uncover blood, traces of blood.
Yeah.
If you put that in my house, the entire house might go.
You know how many animals in my house? Then what do you do with the carcass?
So the Skyway thing is another one of Michelle's.
Is killing animals like that something you've always done, or is it?
It just recently started. From living with Pam. Pam's
How many animals did you kill?
it's hard to say. A lot.
Yeah.
See, it seems like I'm a bad guy. It seems like I'm a bad guy.
I'm not.
I'm not a bad guy like that. Like I
It's not for me to judge. Okay. But I'm trying to understand your mind a little bit.
So my mind is this. I did 11 years in prison at a young age.
Yeah.
I got out and I was faced with many adversities. Like things would just keep happening to me. Like small things keep happening to me. Keep happening. I could never catch a break without something sticking me in my ribcage. And my frustration and my anger would always be at a point where I'm always frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always frustrated.
Yeah.
And this is what living with Pam and Pam never having rent. Pam always complaining. It just living with that had me festering. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always on edge.
It kind of makes you wonder, right, about Gress's mental fitness, his mental state. We know that hurting animals is a major red flag for things like psychopathy. We've seen it in other cases before. And in fact, last year, a judge had ordered Gress to undergo a mental competency evaluation to make sure that he understood the charges against him and that he was able to assist in his own defense. He was found competent in November. And in fact, in another court filing, this was interesting, the defense had filed a motion requesting that any mention of animal cruelty be excluded from the trial and the penalty phase, because the argument would be that it's arguably too prejudicial for the jury to hear. The judge hasn't returned an answer yet, according to the docket, but we're going to continue to follow the case and see where it goes on that. Now, the detectives bring the questioning back around to Miranda's supposed murder, right? And they have a question for Gress. Why did he allegedly send photos of what he'd done to other people?
What was the purpose of it? The purpose was to get sympathy for me. So I was trying to get them to buy me another ring, and then everything was good. I just wanted a ring. I didn't want to take a loss on the ring.
Your whole thing was, I want my ring back, no matter what it was.
No matter what, but I was going to go through, and then at least make an effort to try to get my back.
And why was that so sentimental to you?
Because I never had anything. I went to prison when I was 16 years old. I got out when I was 27. So I'm just starting to learn to live my life and have things of my own. And I don't think it's right for somebody to be able to come into your house and steal from you and be able to walk out of there.
Sort of like you went to prison for.
That was for burglaries, on burglaries and stuff.
Going into somebody's house and taking.
That's another thing that I smoke too. I'm like,
So don't
I didn't kill it.
Okay, well, you did. So you contributed to a person's death for doing what you got caught doing when you were 16.
She was never supposed to. Ever.
Dude,
She never was supposed to pass, man. She wasn't even supposed to come close to it. If anything, like I was telling the whole time, like there's nothing that she can't heal up from after a couple of days and go home was my intention. And the whole time I'm trying to get other people to just replace it for me so I can just be done with it. That was my intention for sending the picture. My mom.
you wanted a family member of yours and or friends to see what you were doing to this girl so that they could buy you the ring.
And they would
And as long as you had your ring, you would let her.
Yes, sir.
So that was like a cry out for you to stop hurting this woman.
Yes, sir.
That was your way. That was your way.
I'm trying every avenue I possibly can try to resolve it. Everybody's good. If she's willing to go through this length to keep my ring, then she went through that length to keep my ring. And as long as I got another one back, then cool. So I fully accept what's to come for this. Okay. I just want to see everybody else was involved get theirs as well. This girl was never supposed to die. Ever. She was never supposed to die. Ever.
Speaking for a minute.
You understand?
Ring wide. Yep.
So left alone, Gress puts his head down on the table. But investigators are back a couple minutes later to collect a buckle swab. But he wants to make sure the police are going after the real bad guy in all this, right? The person he claims is responsible for all this. Brandis.
I just don't know what she's going to tell you guys. Yeah, man. She's got me on aggravated assault charge right now. And the camera can prove that I never tried to put her inside a car or anything that she said. So that will at least help prove that she's a liar. You know what I'm saying? So whatever she's trying to say.
As I mentioned, Brandis was arrested March 8th, the day after this interview, this interrogation, after she turned herself in. Both Brandis and Gress, they're charged with first-degree murder. Gress faces an additional charge of kidnapping. And despite what he told investigators, Gress entered a not guilty plea, as did Brandis. Again, despite what you just heard, despite these horrific allegations, they are both innocent unless proven guilty. Just got to keep that in mind. But the stakes couldn't be higher because prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for both of them. Both remain locked up in the Pinellas County Jail. Gress is due back in court in July. Brandis is scheduled for her next hearing in August. We've been on top of this case. We will continue to be on top of this case. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. You can also check us out on NBC's Peacock as well. If you want to follow me, X, Instagram, my News Nation show, Jesse Weber Live, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern. See you next time, everybody.